Most men are blind to the moment when a woman's interest starts fading. They think everything is fine, while in reality, she's already pulling away. And by the time they notice, it's too late. Here's the truth. Women rarely say, "I'm losing interest." They show it through small changes in behavior that most guys overlook. And once those changes appear, attraction is already slipping through your fingers. The difference between a man who keeps her hooked and a man who gets left behind is awareness. If you can spot the signs early, you can adjust, you can respond, and you can save your power before it's too late. But if you stay blind, you'll end up chasing her while she's already gone. Today, I'm going to reveal the clear signals that prove she's losing interest, so you never waste your time or your dignity again. Point 1. Her communication becomes cold and minimal. One of the very first signs a woman is losing interest is how she communicates with you. In the beginning, her replies came fast, her messages had energy, and you felt her excitement through every word. But when her attraction starts to fade, her effort in communication drops. Suddenly, the conversations feel empty. Her texts shrink from paragraphs to one-word replies. Her tone goes from warm to flat. She used to ask questions, keep things going, and look for reasons to talk. Now it feels like you're the only one carrying the weight. Think about it. You send her a playful message, and instead of laughing back, she answers with a bland haha. You ask about her day, and she replies, "Fine." You try to start a conversation, and she takes hours or even days to respond with no explanation. That's not bad timing. That's not her being busy. That's disinterest creeping in. Because here's the truth. When a woman values your presence, she prioritizes communication. She'll carve out time for it, even on a packed day. When she doesn't, it's because her mind and emotions are drifting elsewhere. Most men refuse to accept this shift. They sense her energy slipping, and instead of pulling back, they push harder. They double text. They try harder to be funny. They overshare, hoping to get her attention back. But all of that has the opposite effect. It communicates desperation. It tells her you need her more than she needs you. And the more she feels that imbalance, the faster her interest dies. The right move is awareness and restraint. If her communication is consistently cold, you don't chase it. You match her energy. You stop overinvesting. You stop rewarding her lack of effort with more effort. And most importantly, you recognize what it means. She's not as engaged as she used to be. That clarity gives you power because it allows you to decide, do you want to keep investing in someone who's slipping away, or do you value yourself enough to step back? Here's the psychology. Communication reflects desire. Excitement shows up in words. Effort shows up in replies. When those things vanish, it's not random. It's attraction fading. Don't ignore it. Don't excuse it. Read it for what it is. One of the clearest signs she's losing interest. Point 2, she stops making time for you. When a woman is truly interested, she finds a way to fit you into her world. Her schedule might be busy, but she still makes time, even if it's just a quick call or a short meetup. Why? Because when desire is alive, effort follows. But when she's losing interest, her availability dries up. Suddenly, she's always busy. Plans get postponed, excuses start piling up, and time with you is no longer a priority. Think about it. She used to light up at the idea of seeing you. She'd suggest places, lock down dates, and even rearrange things to make it happen. But now, you're the one always asking, and she's the one always dodging. I'll let you know. I'm swamped this week. Maybe later. These aren't random coincidences. They're signals. She's slowly stepping out of your orbit, and the easiest way to do it without confrontation is by cutting off her time. Most men refuse to believe it. They convince themselves she's just stressed, or that things will go back to normal, so they double down, texting more, calling more, begging for plans. But all this does is push her further away. Why? Because a man who chases after disappearing effort screams low value. He tells her without words, "My life revolves around you." And that kills the little attraction that might have remained. Here's the truth. When a woman truly desires you, she will not let you drift too far away. Even when she's busy, she'll check in, she'll schedule something, she'll show she cares. But when she doesn't, her excuses are the proof. She doesn't need to say she's losing interest. Her lack of time is already saying it louder than words ever could. The right move? Don't fight for space in someone's life who doesn't want you there. If she's not making time, you don't beg for it. You take the hint. You redirect your energy into yourself, your mission, and women who actually value your presence. That choice alone makes you stronger because it communicates what most men can't. I don't chase where I'm not wanted. Psychology is simple here. Time equals value. People make time for what excites them. If she no longer makes time for you, it's because her excitement has faded. Recognize it, accept it, and act like a man who knows his worth. Point 3. Her body language turns away from you. Attraction isn't just in words, it's in the body. When a woman is interested, her body naturally gravitates toward you. She leans in when you speak. Her eyes stay locked on yours. Her feet point in your direction, and she finds excuses to touch her hair, her clothes, or even you. That's her subconscious betraying her desire. But when she's losing interest, the opposite happens. Her body begins to close off, and she sends signals that she'd rather be anywhere else than in your space. Pay attention. She used to lean closer when you talked. Now she leans back or angles her body away. She used to smile easily. Now her expression is flat or distracted. Her arms might be crossed. Her phone suddenly gets more attention than you. And eye contact fades into quick glances. Even the small touches, accidental brushes, playful taps, leaning into you, disappear. Instead, there's distance, and that distance is not accidental. It's her subconscious putting up walls. Here's where most men get it wrong. They sense the shift, but instead of recognizing it, they start working harder to close the gap. They lean in more, they talk faster, they touch more, trying desperately to reignite the spark. But all that does is make the contrast even more obvious. She's pulling away, he's pushing in, and the imbalance kills whatever attraction was left. The truth is this: body language is the most honest form of communication. Words can be polite, smiles can be forced, but the body doesn't lie. When her movements close off, when her energy pulls back, when she no longer seeks physical closeness, she's showing you she's losing interest. No mixed signals, just reality. The right move? Respect the distance. Don't chase it. Don't try to force contact where it's not welcomed. Instead, mirror her withdrawal with composure. Pull your energy back, hold your frame, and focus on yourself. Because here's the secret. Sometimes when you stop pushing, she notices the shift and starts leaning back in. But whether she does or doesn't, you maintain your power by not begging for her presence. Psychology makes it simple. Attraction pulls people closer. Disinterest pushes them apart. If her body is drifting away, her feelings already have. And once you see that, you don't argue with it. You accept it like a man and move forward with dignity and tact. Point 4. She stops putting in effort to impress you. When a woman is into you, she shows it in the details. She'll dress better when she knows she's going to see you. She'll fix her hair, wear that perfume, or even drop little hints to grab your attention. She laughs louder at your jokes, remembers things you said, and puts energy into making the interaction feel alive. Why? Because she cares about how you see her. Attraction makes women invest effort. But when she starts losing interest, that effort disappears. She no longer bothers to impress because she doesn't feel like she needs your attention anymore. Think about it. In the beginning, she'd take an extra 20 minutes getting ready just to meet you. Now she shows up looking like she didn't give it a second thought. She used to text you first, send you memes, or ask about your day. Now those little extras vanish. Even her energy in conversations changes, where she once contributed ideas, stories, and enthusiasm. Now she just nods, gives flat answers, or changes topics quickly. That shift isn't random. It's her pulling back her investment. Most men make the mistake of ignoring this. They tell themselves, "Oh, she's just comfortable now." But there's a big difference between comfort and disinterest. Comfort means she still values you, but doesn't feel the need to constantly impress. Disinterest means she doesn't care how you perceive her anymore because her feelings are fading. And the danger is that most guys misread the two until it's too late. Here's the truth. Effort is the currency of attraction. When someone values you, they spend it freely. When someone doesn't, they hold back. And if her effort is drying up, it's because her attraction is fading with it. The right move? Don't beg for effort. Don't reward laziness with more investment. And don't try to make her care again with extra gifts, compliments, or attention. That only highlights the imbalance. Instead, you pull back. You remind her, through your actions, that you are the prize and that access to you requires effort. If she values you, she'll feel the shift and start investing again. If she doesn't, then you've saved yourself from wasting time on someone who checked out long ago. Psychology makes it clear. People always put effort into what excites them. If her effort is gone, her excitement is too. Believe her actions. Because the man who ignores effort is the man who gets blindsided by rejection. Point 5. She gets easily irritated with you. When a woman is genuinely attracted to you, she gives you grace. The little things you do, your jokes, your quirks, even your mistakes, get brushed off or even seen as charming. But when her interest starts to fade, her patience disappears. Suddenly, things that never bothered her before start to annoy her. The sound of your laugh, the way you text, the way you chew. Suddenly, it's all a problem. This shift isn't about the small habits. It's about her feelings. Irritation is one of the clearest signs her attraction is slipping away. Think about it. She used to laugh at your corny jokes. Now she rolls her eyes. She used to engage when you teased her. Now she snaps back. She used to let small mistakes slide. Now she criticizes them. That's not her becoming more honest. It's her becoming less invested. Because here's the truth. When a woman desires you, she filters everything you do through a positive lens. When that desire fades, the filter flips negative. Most men fall straight into the trap here. They sense her irritation and immediately start apologizing for everything. They walk on eggshells, trying not to mess up. They change their personality, trying to keep the peace. But that only makes it worse. Why? Because it communicates weakness. It shows her that her fading interest has power over you. And nothing kills attraction faster than a man who abandons himself to avoid conflict. The right move? Stay grounded. Don't over-apologize. Don't beg for her patience. And don't twist yourself into someone you're not. If she's constantly irritated at you for simply being yourself, recognize it for what it is. Not compatibility, not temporary stress, but fading attraction. Your job isn't to fix her shifting emotions. It's to protect your own standards. Psychology makes this simple. When we value someone, we tolerate their flaws. When we stop valuing them, those same flaws become deal breakers. If she's suddenly hypersensitive to every little thing you do, it's not about the behavior. It's about the feeling. And the feeling is fading. So remember this. Irritation where there used to be patience is not just a mood swing, it's a warning sign. And the man who ignores it ends up begging for attention from a woman who already checked out. The man who sees it for what it is he keeps his power, his standards, and his dignity intact. Point 6. She stops showing any curiosity about you. When a woman is genuinely invested, she wants to know you. She asks about your day, your plans, your goals, even your opinions on little things. She remembers what you told her last week and circles back to it. That curiosity isn't small talk. It's attraction. It's her way of saying, I want to be part of your world. But when she's losing interest, that curiosity vanishes. Suddenly, she doesn't ask. She doesn't follow up. She doesn't seem to care what's happening in your life at all. Think about it. In the beginning, she was full of questions. How was your meeting? What's your gym routine? What do you want to do next weekend? Now, silence. You share something about your life, and she gives a flat, oh cool, before changing the subject. You mention a new project, a success, or even a struggle, and she barely reacts. That's not distraction. That's disconnection. Because the truth is, people are curious about what excites them. If her curiosity is gone, it means her excitement is too. Most men misread this. They think she's just busy or stressed, so they overcompensate. They start pouring their stories out uninvited, trying to get a reaction. They ask her a dozen questions, hoping she'll mirror the effort back. But instead, she pulls further away. Why? Because she doesn't want to invest anymore. And when you try to force curiosity, you only highlight how one-sided the energy has become. The right move? Don't beg for her interest. If she's not curious about your life, that's her telling you exactly where she stands. You don't try to convince her to care. You recognize that her feelings have shifted, and you protect your self-respect. You share your life with people who actually want to be part of it, not with someone who treats it like background noise. Here's the psychology. Curiosity equals investment. When someone asks questions, remembers details, and digs deeper, it's because they feel emotionally engaged. When they don't, it's because they're disconnecting. It's not complicated. A woman who's attracted to you wants to know more. A woman who's losing interest doesn't. So remember this. If she stops asking, stops following up, and stops caring about the details of your life, it's not an accident. It's a warning. And the man who ignores that warning is the man who gets blindsided when she finally walks away. Point 7. She no longer sees you as a priority. When a woman desires you, she makes you part of her world. She rearranges plans, she checks in, she includes you in her life because she sees you as valuable. But when her interest starts fading, you slowly slip down her list of priorities. Other things, friends, work, random errands, even scrolling on her phone, suddenly matter more than you. And she won't say it directly, but her actions scream it loud. You're no longer at the top of her mind. Think about it. She used to text you first thing in the morning. Now you're lucky if she remembers by evening. She used to cancel plans with others to spend time with you. Now she cancels on you to see them. She used to share exciting news with you first. Now you find out through her social media. These are not coincidences. They're the clearest sign that you're slipping into the background of her life. Most men refuse to accept this shift. They notice she's putting them last, and instead of walking away, they fight harder for her attention. They rearrange their schedules, buy gifts, send long texts, all in the hope of moving back to the top of her list. But this never works. Why? Because the harder you fight for priority, the lower your value drops in her eyes. A man who competes for attention is a man she doesn't respect. Here's the reality. Attraction makes her choose you without hesitation. When she's losing interest, she chooses everything else over you. And the harsh truth is, if she wanted to make you a priority, she would. No excuse, no explanation, no busy schedule can change that fact. People make time for what matters. Period. The right move? Stop negotiating for priority. If she consistently places you last, you don't beg to be first. You walk away. You show her through action that your time and presence are not optional extras. You give them to people who value them. And here's the irony. Sometimes, the moment you stop chasing, she feels the loss and scrambles to pull you back in. But even if she doesn't, you win, because you never accepted the role of a backup option. Psychology makes it simple. The things we prioritize are the things we desire. If she no longer prioritizes you, she no longer desires you. And the man who ignores that truth always ends up broken. The man who accepts it, he keeps his dignity, his standards, and his power. Conclusion. Here's the brutal truth. When a woman is losing interest, she doesn't sit you down and announce it. She shows it through her actions. The dry communication, the lack of time, the distant body language, the missing effort, the constant irritation, the dead curiosity, and the fact that you're no longer a priority. These are her silent confessions. Most men ignore them because they're blinded by hope. They tell themselves, she's just busy, or things will go back to how they were. But denial doesn't save attraction. It kills it faster. The powerful man doesn't chase, beg, or cling when he sees these signals. He reads them for what they are and responds with strength. He doesn't waste energy trying to convince someone to want him. He knows his worth, and he's willing to walk away when respect and desire are no longer there. That's what separates average men from men women can't forget. Attraction isn't about forcing her to stay. It's about knowing when she's already gone and having the courage to protect your value. If you master that awareness, you'll never be blindsided again. You'll know when it's time to hold on and when it's time to let go like a man.